Why do teenagers feel that they can't tell their parents most things? When I was 14, my dad sat me down for what he called a real conversation. He said he wanted to be the kind of parent I could talk to about anything. He promised he'd never judge me or freak out. He said his own dad never listened to him and he didn't want to make that mistake. I actually believed him. For the first few months, it was amazing. I told him about this girl I liked named Sarah. He gave me advice. I told him when I was stressed about making the basketball team. He helped me practice. I even told him when I got a C on my algebra test before mom found out. He just helped me study instead of yelling. I felt like I'd won the parent lottery. Then sophomore year started and everything got harder. The classes were way more difficult and I was struggling. I had this English teacher, Mr. Peterson, who seemed to hate me for no reason. He'd call on me when I didn't raise my hand and embarrass me in front of everyone. He gave me a D on an essay I actually tried really hard on. Other kids got A's on essays that seemed way worse than mine. I started dreading his class. One day, Mr. Peterson handed back our essays on Lord of the Flies. I got another D. He'd written in red pen all over it saying my analysis was shallow and lazy. I wasn't even trying to be lazy. I just didn't get the book the way he wanted me to. After class, I went up to ask him what I could do better. He said maybe I should focus on classes I was actually good at instead of wasting his time. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. That night at dinner, Dad asked how school was. I usually said fine, but this time I told him the truth. I said Mr. Peterson seemed to have it out for me and I didn't know what to do. Dad asked some questions and I explained everything. The bad grades, the comments, the way he treated me differently than other students. Dad listened and said he understood how frustrating that must be. He said he'd think about how to help. I felt so relieved that he got it. 2 days later, I got called to the principal's office during third period. I had no idea why. When I walked in, my dad was sitting there with Principal Hayes. My stomach dropped. Dad had apparently sent a formal complaint email to the principal about Mr. Peterson. He'd included everything I told him, but he'd made it sound way worse than it was. He said Mr. Peterson was targeting me and creating a hostile learning environment. He demanded that I be moved to a different English class. Principal Hayes asked me to explain my side. I tried to backtrack and say it wasn't that bad, but Dad kept interrupting saying I was just scared to speak up. The principal said she'd look into it and dismissed us.